Last one for right now says Black and Yellow Texas Steel. Peyton Wilson greater than a Landon Roberts? Roberts was great for us last year. And what about Mark Robinson?
So Peyton Wilson, I think, eventually oversteps most, if not all, except for Patrick Queen on the depth chart. Eventually, not immediately, maybe by the 3/4 mark of the season, somewhere around there. But Landon Roberts ain't going to miss any time. He is a stud. He is a professional. What he did last season for a guy who came in here as a run stuffer, who has always been known as a run stuffer, who has somewhat been under the radar most of his career. What he did at the end of last season was remarkable. He was potentially the most impactful player on the Pittsburgh Steelers defense outside of TJ Watt by the end of the season. That's what he did. He was the glue that held that thing together. And he was holding on he was as stretched out as he could possibly come. Like, I remember seeing him in the locker room barely being able to walk. And you'd go up to him and be like, yo, you playing this weekend? Be like, I'm playing. Like, all right, sounds good. Like, yeah, sounds good. He's like, I don't care what the injury report, I'm playing. I was like, all right, that's who he is. He's a stud. Mark Robinson, I don't know. We're gonna see. You know, if I had to guess, Mark Robinson's still last on the depth chart. The thing with Mark Robinson is, even if he never turns into a starting inside linebacker, which I don't think he will, he's a good special teamer. He's a good teammate. He's very good at practice. If you need him in a pinch, he could come in there and he could work as your last guy. Steelers have come a couple of years ago was Marcus Allen being that guy, you know, and Mark Robinson's head and shoulders above what Marcus Allen was at that position. So I like Mark Rob. I think he's very valuable for what he does, and that he plays a good role on this team. So I don't know if I ever expect him to become a star, but I believe in what he does, and I think it plays a significant or has an significant impact on the team.
We do have one more that came in under the wire. Jeff Lett says, what do you think the future will hold for the outside linebacker position when you have two superstars and a young guy, aka Nick Herbig, who's going to demand playing time?
I think it's going to keep TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith and Nick Herbig fresh longer. I think that's what it does. I don't think TJ is a guy, or Alex are guys that are upset about not being on the field. They want to be on the field, but they want to be here for the playoffs. They want to be 100% ready to go by the end of the season. They want other guys to succeed. They're at the point in their career, especially TJ, where he's okay with being healthy. He doesn't need to play 95% of the snaps. He'd rather make an impact in January and February than he would in October. And he wants to make an impact every single play, and he will make an impact every single time he's on the field. But he's looking for longevity. He's looking for health, and that's what Nick Herbig allows that to happen. So I think this is a 3-man rotation. I think we're going to see a lot of everybody, and I think it has very important and positive impacts on the 3 of them, because it allows all 3 of them to be fresh. Like, if TJ goes 400 miles an hour every time he's on every single play. I've watched this man come off the sideline during practice, like barely able to breathe. That's how hard he is going all the time. To get more rest is going to help. So I think that it makes a bigger impact for all 3 of them to have all 3 of them on the field.
We do have a couple other linebacker specific questions. You mentioned Peyton Wilson could potentially surpass everybody but Patrick Queen. Does he look like a star, or does he just look like somebody who's on a good trajectory?
Yeah, I think Peyton Wilson looks like a dude who is on a good trajectory. We have to see. He's got development ahead of him, obviously, but he's got all the tangibles. He's got all the physical attributes that you're looking for. He's a dude you should have high expectations for. You just have to temper those expectations as a rookie. Always. No matter who the rookie is, you have to temper the expectations for them. And that's where we are with Peyton Wilson. He's got all the upside. He could do everything, but he's not a guy that you could look at right now and say he's a day one best in the building. But he's got the potential to be a star right next to Patrick Queen. And I think we should have full faith that he could reach that one day.
One guy we didn't see on the field very much during OTAs or minicamp was Cole Holcomb. Where is his status as we enter this little break here where we're not going to get any updates until we all show up at Latrobe in late July?
Yeah, so where Cole Holcomb is currently is still rehabbing and developing, but he's taking steps forward. He's in the building all the time. So that's positive, and he's doing most things. I don't expect him to be ready at the start of training camp. I don't know if I expect him to be ready by the end of training camp. I expect him to start to work his way in there. to start to do some individual stuff. I don't know if we'll see him in team before the season starts. I don't know when he's going to come back, but I do think he's taken positive steps and things look good. Like the expectations of, I don't know. It's tough because you don't know exactly what the injury was. It was just a lot of knee damage. It wasn't career ending, but I think it was very, very significant, and it's a long way back, but he looks good in the process, and that's all you're really looking for right now.